Good evening, my fellow friends of YouTubers. This is Kurt, and welcome back to the Kurt's Place channel here on the YouTube. Well, guys, we have a special feature car this time on the Kurt's Place channel. I have James's 1997 Mazda Miata. I'm actually going to go ahead and show him some of the features and things that this car has, guys. This is a classic Mazda that I want to be able to bring to you on this channel. Now, I wanted to mention too, by the way, if you want to click on that subscribe button, feel free to do so. That way you can keep up with all my current videos. If you like what you see, don't forget to smash that like button as well. All right, guys, let's check out James's 1997 Mazda Miata. And as always, thanks again for watching. Alright guys, we got James here in front of his Mazda 1997 Mazda Miata, guys. I want to go. James, where are you from?
I'm from Germantown.
Germantown, yeah. James actually came out here, guys, to the Dreamicon car show here, and he's actually going to show you some things here with his 97 Mazda Miata. And this, guys, I'll tell you, this is a classic. Alright, James, tell us a little bit about your car. We'll start with the outside and work our way in.
Alright, like what you mentioned, this is a 1997 Mazda Miata. It's a base model, so it doesn't have the leather seats or anything, but at the time, since this is the last year with the pop-up lights, they wanted to include some features that were included in previous M editions. So, for example, this paint job was an option back in like 95 and 94, but because this is the last year, they figured, we'll put it on the base model instead. Same thing with these rims. If you got the base model,
we'll get a close-up of the rims here, guys, for you too. There
if you got a 1990 base model, it came with either, I think, Steely's or what they call Daisy chain rims. And if you got the M edition, you got these Enkai looking Mazda rims. So they're a little old and dirty, but they're definitely cool. Small tires. When you drive this thing, it feels like a go-kart.
Yeah. And that's what Mazda's got to have in common, guys. That's what's great about them. Huh? And you guys know some pop-up headlights. Isn't that awesome? What a nice feature that was, huh? Check that out, guys. How cool is that, huh? That's one of those things they don't have in the new ones. That's darn cool, too.
The cool thing about this car is that it weighs almost the same as the new NDs that are out right now. I think this car weighs about 2,100 pounds. It's probably lighter than all the other vehicles that are here at this show.
And I'll tell you guys, I'm not sure how much my car weighs, but I know it's not much more than that, because they try to keep the Miatas, you know, as light as possible. You'll notice that in their construction as well.
I think the ND actually weighs less than this car, and it's faster.
And guys, check out the interior, guys. We'll look at the inside too while we're at it too.
As you can see,
now, James, this is all original, right? You didn't do a whole lot of changes to this, right? It's pretty much all original for the most part.
That is correct. This car is bone stock. I did have to change some stuff, some preventative maintenance stuff. For example, the shifter had the original bushings and rubber fittings, but it was so worn out from time and age and driving that I ended up replacing it. So I went online and bought an OEM shifter rebuild kit and put it together, and now it shifts so good. I also had to drain the fluid in the transmission. It was black, so I put some red line in there, and now it's so buttery and smooth.
And guys, I'll show you something too. Notice the interior? Notice how the dash and everything looks very similar to mine. You know why they did that? Mazda said, you know what, it's working, let's not fix it. Let's keep it the way it is.
Yep.
That's why it has that classic look. Notice it hasn't changed? See, Mazda knows what they're doing when they designed a car. Even the console, look at the console. Even the console is the same. You go down and look on the interior. Very, very similar to what I have in mine now. You see that? Even the door panels. See that? It's classic. It's even in 97. They knew what they were doing in 97 too.
So a cool feature about this particular car is the later NAs had you can access the trunk and hold on, gotta grab my keys. You can access the trunk from the inside of the car right here with these levers here. Now if you had a 1990, I think before 94, they didn't have this, so you had to
you see that, guys, on the inside? See the levers down there? Isn't that awesome?
I think they had one for the gas, but you didn't have one for the trunk, so you had to get out of your car, get the key, unlock it.
Right.
This one does come with the factory AC. I think at one point it was an option to have AC.
Right.
So I guess they figured, you know, you got a convertible, you don't need.
Yeah. And guys, even this, look at the gauge. Even the gauge. Look at the gauge panel. Notice the gauge, even the gauge panel hasn't changed much. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Steering wheel and everything, just like it was originally. Even on the new ones.
This is what the horn sounds like. Yeah, the gauge cluster is very simple. You have a tach, speedometer, you got an oil pressure gauge that kind of works. You got a water
There you
temperature
go.
gauge, and then you got a fuel gauge. And this car, even though it's old, I still get fantastic gas mileage. I average 30 in this car.
Yeah, and to put that in comparison, guys, the car that I have now this is back in the day. I'm getting, I average about 36 on mine on average if I'm on a really, really good road. But remember, when this is in 97, that's fantastic in 97. That's fantastic. Even today, that's great gas mileage. All that way back.
Another cool thing about the interior is they put integrated speakers in the headrests.
Yeah, and you guys remember now, I have that in my car too. They had them in this one too, 97, integrated speakers, just like they have in the new ones, guys. See that? Once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And even look at the back, guys. Even the back, like where the fuel, where the filler cap and everything is. And that's that, guys. Very, very similar to what I have now.
And at the back of the car, it's actually pretty short. There's not really much. When you're in the car, you don't even need to use your mirror when you're going in reverse, because as soon as you turn around, you see the end of the car.
Right.
The battery of this vehicle is actually located in the back here in the trunk.
Now, see, guys, that's one difference. Mine is actually located up front, but in the original, the 97 one, it's actually in the back.
It's pretty cool that they have it in the back. The only downside is that if you drive this car hard, you'll have to clamp down on these bolts.
Right.
Because eventually the battery will get loose.
Right.
And when you're taking a turn, the battery will slam into the back of this panel here, and then you'll have a dent on the outside.
Right. Now, guys,
That's no fun.
here's another thing interesting, guys. Notice the underside of the deck lid. You'll notice on my car, it's exactly the same as this. Do you know why? They want to save weight. As much weight savings as possible. Not fancy, just like mine. Exactly the same on the inside. Now, it doesn't have any interior panel. It's all designed to save weight and keep the car balanced. See, even way back when, they knew what they were doing.
This car is extremely light.
and check out even the taillights, guys. See how it has the same, even if you look at the side, same flares and everything mine has. Same type of style mine has. And here's the... you look at now, the one thing I don't have is I don't have the original badging like that. You know, they changed the badging, but you see it is an MX-5.
As you can see on the taillights, they continue the styling of this circle, which is pretty much relevant in, I think, all the later generations, including yours. The difference is that the one on yours is a lot bigger and fatter.
Right.
So.
And something else too, guys. You're gonna notice too, guys. You notice where the radio antenna is?
I believe these are called Frankenstein bolts.
Yeah.
And if you had a hard top, you would remove this.
Yeah. You actually had the option, guys, for having a hard top on this as well. It is a soft top, but you had an option for a hard top as well.
Yep. Another cool thing about these old NAs is that they came with what is called a tonneau cover. And I don't have it out. It's in my trunk. But this little groove right here, you would have the tonneau cover fitted here, and then you would have it connected to this pin here, another pin here.
Oh, you see, yeah, you see that there's anchor points for that cover.
And then you would put them here, here, all the way across.
Yeah. James, how easy, let's see how easy it is to get the top up and down on this car, guys. Now, you know, I have an automatic top on mine, but they do still make soft tops now in the Miatas too. They do. I have a hard top. I have the RF, so mine's a retractable fastback, but they still make a soft top versions as well, even in the new generation Mazdas. Yeah, James, so let's see how easy it is to get the top up and down on this.
The first step, you always want to unlatch these like this in the up position.
Okay, so you see that, guys? Now these you have to actually unlatch. There's actually latches here that you unlatch on these.
Then I like to grab it from the middle, so that way I don't mess up the mechanisms in here. Like this.
Right.
And then inside, I like to line it up on the passenger side first.
Right.
And inside there's these hooks. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, actually I can. Yeah, guys. There's a hook just like this on the other side.
Yep. So you hook it right here. You line it up, and then you carefully close it, and then you do the same thing.
And then you got another one on the other side.
On the other side. Now, this is kind of a burden because if you have sun visors, you got to move the sun visors. So,
right.
And then you're good to go.
Yep. So you see that, guys? See that?
Yep. And that's how you put the top up.
Right.
Unfortunately, this is not the original top. The previous owner replaced it. I think the original top just got really worn out.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things, guys, when you have soft tops, they do have to be replaced occasionally too. That's pretty understandable with any car that you have.
I believe the original Mazda top did not come with a glass back. They came with a plastic.
Right, guys. Yeah, right, guys. Notice he also has glass. He also has glass in here with the defrosters in here as well.
I could be wrong, but I know in the earlier NAs they had it where it was plastic, and inside you had a zipper.
Yes.
So you can unzip it and have it where it's open. So when you're driving with the windows down, you don't have that flapping effect.
That's right. That's right, guys. That's right.
Unfortunately, this car does not have that option because this is not the original top.
And guys, notice something too, guys. Notice the little window here? I have that in mine too. Even the new ones have that little window. Now it's a little bit smaller, but there is a window there. If you look on the new ones, they have that window there. Once again, not changing what works. Even the mirrors, very similar to what I have now on mine. Not a whole lot of changes. Now the one thing that is a little different, the car that I currently have, guys, I actually have a 2-liter Mazda Skyactiv motor on mine. James is a little bit different. James, tell us a little bit about the motor that your car has. It's a little bit different than mine. Same type of design as mine, but a little bit different. 97 design Mazda.
So this motor is a little bit similar to the new ones. However, this is a 1.8 liter inline 4. And it produces about 127 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, but because the car is so light, it feels like you're going pretty fast.
Right, and that's the thing, guys. You don't need a big motor in a car like this because you're not dealing with a lot of weight. But notice, guys, notice the similarities. There's not a whole lot of difference between mine and this. Now my car has more modern things on top. So you're going to notice they didn't change anything. Once again, if it's not broke, don't change it. Once again,
it's a very nice car. I have a 90. 89.
Oh, you got an 80, so you got the 1.6.
I have 1.6.
Yep.
This is what, a 90,
97.
97.
Yep, this is the last year with the pop-up lights.
And here's the emblem, guys. I'll show that to you. Isn't that cool?
Very good. I know they added more weight as they went up the years. So I thought I'm around just over 2,000.
This is about 2,100 pounds. So you're probably maybe 2,000 or 2,050 pounds.
Yeah, something like that. But boy, is it light.
Oh, yeah.
Stiff. I've driven like a 93, 94, but mine is like a go-kart. There's stiffness to it, you know. It slides all over the place if you want to do that. If you want to drift, man, piece of cake.
It's so easy. You can drift in second gear in this car.
Yeah.
And guys, I'll tell you, I actually did some drifting in my car. I don't have it on video, but when I was at Maryland Live Casino, when they had the early times of COVID, they actually closed off part of the garage, and I did some drifting in my car in the garage at Maryland Live Casino. It was pretty wild. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, thank you.
How many miles do you have on it, James?
Oh, it has 100,000 miles on it. It's about to hit 101.
Actually, I talked to a guy who races them. He says that's when they're actually breaking. That's when they're ready for racing. They won't race them until they get like 100K on it.
I don't know if I want to race this car.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the engine is in top condition even at 100,000.
I did have to do a couple of preventative maintenance things. For starters, it was due for a timing belt and water pump job. Previous owner, neglected it, and I asked him, like, hey, did you do the timing belt water pump job? And he goes, you're supposed to do that? And I was like, oh man, on borrowed time. So I had to replace the timing belt, which is located here. Replace the water pump.
Did you guys notice the lower lights too on the bottom?
The cam angle sensor O-ring was leaking, so I had to repair that.
James, you have your turn signals. Are turn signals integrated into those too?
Oh, thank you.
Or do you have separate lights for the turn signals? Are they integrated into these? Your turn signal indicators?
So actually, this is the turn signal. So if I don't know if they'll turn. I gotta turn on the battery. Give me one moment.
So you see, guys, it's similar. Now, mine's a little different because it has it integrated into the headlight, but you're gonna see the same similarities though. And there you go, guys. So you see that? Isn't that neat? And you can see, even if you look at the orientation of all the components inside, it hasn't changed much from what mine is. Yeah. Even if you look, even like the supports, like for the struts and everything. See that, guys? It didn't change a whole lot. You know.
It's surprisingly simple engine and work area to work on and manage. There are some tough spots like getting in the back and whatnot.
Now James was mentioning what was the maintenance that you did on? You did a couple things to it, right?
Yes, I had to do some preventative maintenance stuff. I didn't want to get stranded on the road while having fun.
Right.
So the first thing I did was the timing belt and water pump. That had to get done. The good news is that with these engines, it's a non-interference engine, so even if you snap a timing belt, your engine won't get damaged. You'll just be stranded.
Right.
So, but I didn't want to take that chance. So I got that done. I took it to a professional mechanic. I didn't want to mess up the timing.
Right.
I also had to get the cam seals in the front replaced.
Oh,
the front
okay.
crank seal replaced.
Right, right.
So,
And guys, right now, my car right now, I have 18,000 on my car, and I haven't had any trouble at all with my car. So I'm expecting to get at least 100,000 or more, just like James has with his car.
I also replaced the radiator. It had the original factory radiator.
Wow, guys, look at that.
And it was like brown. It had to be replaced. So I ordered another one. It was like 50 or 60 bucks.
So guys, this is a survivor, guys. This is a survivor. Huh?
And then the last thing I did recently, I replaced the gear oil and differential oil. That stuff was black, so I had to put new fluid in there.
Yeah.
Now it drives really well.
So what do you guys think of that? Pretty cool, huh? So remember, guys, if you come out here to Jimmy Con, you can meet people like James and myself out here and check out our Miatas while you're out here, guys, if you get a chance. Well, James, I wanted to thank you, by the way, again, for doing the interview with me here on the Kurt's Place channel, and thanks again for coming out also for joining us today as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, guys, so we're going to go and wrap it up there. And I want to say, once again, thanks, James. Thanks for taking your time out to show us your car. We really enjoyed checking it out. All right, guys, and as also I want to mention, too, that way now there are other videos on the channel as well from Jimmy Cone as well. If you want to check those out, just go to my channel, look under Jimmy Cone Car Shows. You can check those out as well. All right, now, and also, guys, I'll also mention, too, that way I do have merchandise now available from the Kurt's Place channel. Just check out my merchandise store in the video link down below. There's links to the Kurt's Place channel store. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys, I want to thank you again for tuning in. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like. And as always, guys, thanks again for watching. Well, have a great day now. Thanks again, James. We'll catch you next time, guys. Bye-bye now. See you next time.